So I made a video earlier today, early this morning, but it didn't work, so I'm gonna redo it. And the topic is, I guess, the fact that everything is moving really fast for a lot of people, and me included. Really everyone I talk to is experiencing such a shift, and even subtle transformations, but everyone's going through something. It's this new energetic shift, and this is like calling to my attention. Sorry, I'm like switching back and forth. It's calling it's calling to my attention that with this transformation and this movement, we need to really learn how to ground ourselves through it. Because I felt it a lot yesterday, and my best friend and I, we took some acid in this forest, and that was a really big theme for us because we are both going through a lot of change. And the whole time, I just kept trying to figure out how do I integrate this change? How do I work with it? How do I not let anxiety and the fast movement overwhelm me? How do I ground myself? And it's really it's really hard to figure out how to do those things, but at the same time we know we've gone through this so many times, and it's almost as if through movement and change, you're only going to find comfort through surrendering, by going with the flow and having little to no expectation of the result. There's so many things that go into this. It's like not closing doors, leaving all your doors and options open, but not putting all of your gems into one slot. Just being open and also protective of yourself, not having this huge expectation of how it ought to go and how you want it to go. And it's really hard to find that balance, and I do this all the time in my major life changes. I always have this vision of how I think it's gonna work out, and it's never that. It is always so far from that, and a lot of the time it hurts, because I experience a lot of beauty, but it also hurts because I'm like, well, I didn't receive what I thought I would. And so with change and movement, we just have to realize that we are always being given exactly what we need, directly when we need it. And it's a lot harder said than done, but we can't lose hope in the fact that if our expectation isn't met, then we won't be gifted or benefited from it. For instance, my best friend and I were talking last night, and we're both literally going through very similar things. And for an example, I'm going to Argentina, and I'm only going for a little over a month, and I realize that there is a huge possibility, which I'm almost sure of, that I'm gonna go there, have a fun time, and come back and get right back into the grime. Nothing is gonna change, and I'm just gonna come back with new perception, good memories. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't take the risk and go and experience and create new enjoyments and new realizations and connections. And I fight with myself a lot because I'm like, well, I'm spending all of my money. That's a lot of energy to be used, and I may come back even more hurt. My heart is gonna break. But that's no way to live It's no way to live to not do something because of these possibilities of negative consequences of feeling hurt. Because we all know through hurt and suffering, that's where we grow the most. By being uncomfortable, that is where we expand the most. So, yeah, we just have to be present with all of our decisions. And this is totally like, it's so crazy because I feel like this topic can apply to a lot of people, but this is so direct with me, and I can see it with a lot of people in my life, my family, my friends, and like we're all really going through this thing of like these big choices and, well, which one do we not take and which one do we take and will it benefit me more, and risk. It's all about a lot of risk lately. We have to realize that once we choose one thing, no matter what, you're leaving behind another thing, but that doesn't mean that you're neglecting it or you're missing out. That's not how creating your reality works. It's like acid. Every single time you decide to turn a new way, it's a new opportunity over and over and over again. Like we were in nature and we're on a walk and you sit at one tree, one scene, one moment in eternity, and then you realize there's so much more to experience. And that doesn't mean you can't be content. You can be fully content in that moment. And then you can just realize God has placed and has given so many more things to enjoy, so why not enjoy it? Why not experience it? Why not hurt a little, have a heartbreak for the trade-off of seeing more beauty? Yeah. Oh, also, I kind of want to just talk about, like, this is a mixed video of, like, the acid integration and ideas, and then just a general area of what I've been experiencing lately. But, my friend said something really, really cool, and it stuck with me. We were just talking about the difference between, like, taking full doses of, like, an overwhelming dose of acid versus taking, let's say, like, a fourth or a third or 3/4 or whatever, like a microdose, if you want to call it that. I don't know what to call it other than that. There's a huge difference. It's like, I mean, okay, she pretty much said it's not as much as a light show. And I was like, yeah, you're right, because when you do a microdose, you're like conscious of the two realities of a psychedelic experience and your current situation, and you are forced to deal with your emotions and really sit down and work through shit. So it's not just about being like high and like, oh, it's so beautiful and I love it and I'm in love with everything. It's like, hey, I have some karma and I have some things to deal with, and I'm capable enough and rational enough in this mind frame to work with both of these realities. The perception that the acid is giving me, and then the perception of my current life situation, the realistic, and then the fantasy and the creative and dreamlike space. So microdosing, I've started to really, really appreciate it. And I know that's why they, like, Ram Dass and Timothy Leary originally, like, tried to do this with their students as a psychology product because it's, it can clear depression, and it really makes you deal with shit straight on, and it's very hands-on, and you're your own counselor, you're your own healer, your own shaman, and that's the way, I'm not saying that's the way it should be, but in a sense, you know yourself the best. You're the only one that can change you. And other people can help you on the way, but ultimately it comes down to you. So, yeah, taking these medicines, and not even just medicines, sitting down with yourself in meditation and being real and asking, what's wrong? Why am I feeling this way? What am I feeling right now? That is the most healing thing you can do, is to just be with you and be honest and raw, and like even do things like free write in your journal. You may sound like an insane person, you may feel like you need to be hospitalized, but it's healing, and you realize what's going on inside, and you're going, oh, maybe this person inside just wants to be heard. So there's that. But the acid trip yesterday, about that whole microdosing thing, it was so healing for both of us. We were vulnerable. We talked about a lot of things that weren't easy, and it was funny. I could feel, we both felt like our skin and our vibration was very shaky, and it's just because we were getting rid of so much energy. And at one point we were in the car because it got really cold and it was getting dark, and we were shaking. And I remembered one time that I did this meditation. I do it sometimes, yeah, I do it. And it involves you literally just pushing dead, stagnant energy off you, pushing it off, like pushing it off your skin, ripping it out of you. And it helped so much. It's like doing your own Reiki on yourself, like just clearing old energy. And I think that a lot of people are, because it is a new year, so that does mean like we have this old, these old phases and old lessons that are just sitting on our shoulders, and that maybe we've already worked with them enough, and it's time to just like go push them away, learn, and then integrate that to work with the new. We need to push all the old stagnant energy that's not serving you anymore. And that's also with psychedelics. There will be a point, and I know this, there will be a point where I feel I am completed and that I don't need to work with it anymore to deal with these inner, like really deep problems. But I will know the day. But this goes with all things. You just know when it is time to move forward and to not focus on getting rid of things. I'm in that cycle right now, like the death of like getting rid of old stagnant energy. And there will be a time where I don't need to do anything, and I just need to learn how to integrate and bring things into me now. So I think psychedelics a lot of the time are like pushing things out, old energy out, releasing. It's medicine. So an integration, for me, I believe the integration is the taking things in. So the integration is not being on the psychedelics and then experiencing reality as a human or a higher dimensional entity being of light, and bringing it in, all the psychedelic experiences, and working with it. So there has to be a balance, and that's what I keep learning. There has to be a balance to everything. We have to live in the heart chakra. You can't focus to be up in the crown. You can't be all the way up there, or you're lost in consciousness. It's always, everything is grounded in the center. It's in the middle ground of nirvana, of nothingness. It's like, you can't be from extremity. It has to be in the middle. So everything you do, everything you experience, there's always a middle ground. But yeah, there's no striving for this or that. It's just to be centered, really. Centered in all of it. Centered in the this, centered in the that, but being neither of it. So just being, I don't know if this makes sense, and I don't know how to use my words properly to express this, but it's all about balance, and this year taught me that so much. But yeah, I guess the theme of this video was a plethora of ideas and events and psychedelic insights, but that's what my and all of consciousness is. It's a gathering of all of this collective insight and experience, and hearing from another person, having a psychedelic experience, being a human, having a job, being in a relationship, it's all the same. You get what you need, regardless of what you're doing. So yeah. That's all that I have to share in this moment, and I just want to say, me talking about all of this positivity does not mean that I still do not experience darkness and suffering and hopelessness, because I do daily. But it's, again, finding that balance between those two extremities. Because I know that I'm at a point in my consciousness where I still need suffering, because I think it helps me grow and progress, and there will be a time where I don't need love or suffering. I'll just be pure existence, but I'm a human right now, so I'm choosing the duality. And you might as well choose it and stop trying to get enlightened and get somewhere other than here, because this is it. And if you can't feel it now, in this present moment, you're not gonna feel it ever. So it's about coming into balance and coming into centeredness right now. There's nothing else you can do than right now. You can't change anything, you can't heal anything if you're not doing it right now. There's no more saying, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, oh, I'll do this. It's, if you want to heal something, sit down right now and go, I'm going to do this now. Okay, I'm sorry, I said I was done making this video, but now I am done. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been really loving the feedback of everyone, and I feel like, I mean, I don't have that many followers or like people commenting, but I feel like I have like a little community, like little family on the interweb, and it's really awesome to connect with people that way. And I originally started this YouTube channel out of like, I was in a really bad spot, and immediately when I started making videos, I felt so much better. And for a long time I thought, oh, these are merely for me. And I'm like, it's different now. Like, it's for you guys and me, and it's just a way for us to experience and express and to relate and to love and to have compassion. So it's been a good thing. It's been a good trip. And I've only been doing this for a few months, and I'm really digging it. And yeah, I hope that everyone else is enjoying the processes of their life path unfolding. And even though it's painful, keep in mind all things pass. And it may never be this way again, so try to soak it up, enjoy it, no matter how painful and dark it is. Peace out. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye.